Yeah, thank you, Niger Watch. Good evening, everybody. All protocols, please, duly observed. Actually, looking at what happened in Delta State, which is what really drew my attention, it's really a very sad day to me. Listening to people give account and some of the things I've read, it's terrible. You see, every death is avoidable, particularly this type that we have in the Delta. Why I say it is avoidable is it has happened before, not once, but at least twice. You see, in the West, when certain things happen, they normally do inquiry. Not really because they want to waste money, or not really because it's just for tea party, just a talk show. No, they do inquiry for one major reason or two to know exactly what happened. That's one. What led to it? I mean, three key reasons or three aims. Number one, what exactly happened and to what extent? Number two, what led to it? Has there been a build up which people did not know about until the event happened? Number three, how do we prevent it from happening again in future? In other words, what lessons have we learned? Probably this will lead to number four. Then you put either you re-engineer the system or you put a policy in place against the future. Now, under Obasanjo, there was Odi massacre with a similar situation. Oh, the soldier were some army people were killed for whatever, whether they are there illegally or they were deployed for illegal mission, the way they everywhere, but they were paid. Therefore, in retaliation, they have to send the troops, and then the whole village or town of Odi, they were sacked. I remember it was during the time of late Dr. Chuba Okadibo's Senate presidency. He said he went there with cameramen, and short, he went there with the retinue of so many media people that followed him as Senate president and other senators. They went there. About Okadibo said even in one of his interviews, he said, we couldn't even buy banana when they were a bit said, let's buy banana from the villagers on the said there were no market. People were afraid to come out to even give them account of what happened. The Senate sat and think they said something about it. I don't know how long it took again. Another one happened at Zakibian, I think in Benue State. Is I think Zakibian is either in Taraba or Benue. I think it's in Benue, I don't know, but Zakibian is called. The same sacking. Military going to a village to sack people. Why? Some military people were paid. Now, because it happened under the same regime. Normally, after that OD, because sometimes they say there's always a blame to go around, but what matters is preventing it. I remember when while growing up, he said there's one tale they used to say in Igbo language. He said the sheep or whatever called a mother sheep called the offsprings and start to ask them, how long will something happen to you before you learn something? One said, I think one said 10 times. He said, okay. Some said 5 times, some six, some two, some three, some said once. He said, wise one said, look, I won't even allow it to happen. I will learn from who somebody else that it has happened to. In this case, this is one too many. We shouldn't be having this type of civilian military, misunderstanding. I do not support, I do not believe in the burial of the dead. I do not support people losing their life on both sides. But the Nigerian state is highly culpable in this type of thing because we didn't learn a lesson. When did Obasanjo left office? Was it not 2007? That should be how many years ago? 17 years ago or thereabout. Yet we've not learned anything. If somebody should now say, was there no inquiry into OD? I don't know where it is. Was there no inquiry into Zakibian? At least these two major ones. Now we're talking of somewhere in Delta State. It shouldn't be. One, why people tend to, not to believe in the continued existence of Nigeria. There are many reasons, but everybody is peculiar. People for different reasons do not believe because people are having different experience of the Nigerian Federation. Military are not supposed to be seen. They're only supposed to be heard, not seen. You only see a military if they leave their barracks, either they are going to the airport to be flown abroad where they are needed to go and defend the country again, or you see them where they are maintaining something like, I mean, you see them where, for one thing, they are deployed because there's a violent particular spot and this for a particular hour or so, then they go away. That is only when only on the say so of the commander and not even the commander who will command, the commander in chief, and then the police has to beckon them because this is internal security issue. The police can then beckon them. I think I remember listening to Bode George, who said during his career in the Navy, he learned that though the Navy, Air Force, Army, and the police, they call them the security forces. He said, but the army is always on top because of the type of job they are trained. He said in the army there are navy part of it, there are air force part of it, and then there are military because of ground force. He said when they are doing anything, even if in the navy, in the high sea, there are times you will beckon the army if it's something. So in other ways, they have to go by invitation. But in Nigeria, they use it to flex muscle. This shouldn't have been. Yeah, it is regrettable, one, that the civilian people, maybe for I don't know what happened, they fired soldiers. You don't just go and release bullet indiscriminate and start to, no, 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 no. Intelligence will tell you that the soldiers can go there and then clearly, because of the reputation they have or maybe whatever the military, all you want is who. You cannot tell me that the entire community conspired to do it. There may be few people that for one reason or the other they did it. It's only has to do with how do we fish those people out without disturbing the political ecosystem of the place, without even sort of, we have, yes, you have to get it right. That is in this case. And this case should have built on the experience of Odi and on the experience of Zakibian. Now that we are saying this will just go, nothing will happen. And then no inquiry, that may be nothing, and we can benefit from it. Maybe 10 years later, we have a similar thing. So going forward, the training given to this military, they should be looked into. And then the hierarchy of deploying military. Why should soldiers be deployed to illegal missions? What are they doing there? What are they doing? You see, do you know one thing with us in Nigeria is this? We always like to make an excuse. After all, the soldier and the civilian, you people are the same people. They are the same nation. Particularly now, this is very, very disturbing, particularly now that Boko Haram has taken root in Nigeria. Was he not the governor of Niger State that said out of 25 local governments of Niger State, 12 are fully under the occupation of Islamic either what are they called, ISIS? Their flag is standing there. They said it was said by the governor last year or so during it before the election. So now where are our military? Then going to harm innocent. What are they even doing there? What is it that they went there to do that you can't deploy police, military police, anything? That is, you see, sometimes we abuse it. There's a lot of abuse going on in Nigeria. I condemn it. To be honest, I condemn it. I thought that the Zakibian and the Odi experience is enough to teach Nigeria a lesson in how in civilian military relationship, how to coexist. Our military are not doing the job they are supposed to do according to the ethics of their profession. Nigeria is under terror attack. That is where you need the military. Why can't they deploy military to the Sambisa forest? As I speak to you in my state of Anambra, military are still stopping people, searching for one thing I don't know. Under peacetime between Bandri, Enugu, and the Anambra Amansi area. In those days, if you are coming, they have to stop any bus coming from Enugu, and you can imagine these are daily transport. They stop, they say you have to pass. Everybody, the bus will pass the military something empty. Then you have to go the other side and then join the bus again. What are they looking for? Suffering people. And they, under the heat of the sun, they all call gone. One will be holding it by the side of the bush, pointing it in direction where the people are coming from. In case, why are people being apprehensive? Somebody said the South, South, Southeast are militarized. It is true. Somebody will come and tell you they are guarding the critical assets of the nation. What are really the critical assets of Nigeria? Oil and gas. Yet it is being stolen. If they are guiding, if they are guarding it really, it is not in the interest of the wider Nigerian public. It is maybe they are giving those thieves a safe passage. P2B said the people stealing our crude oil are those in government. Still crude oil is not a bar of chocolate you can pick in a supermarket, call it ShopRite anything and put in your pocket without the cashier, anybody looking at you, or you evade the CCTV. No, this is what comes with the ship, and you cannot load it within an hour. Some say it may take days or whatever before they finish loading, and they go away. And we have Navy patrolling. We Army should be there, guarding secret, whatever, even everything. Yet they are still being stolen. Can somebody tell me that today, as I speak, 18th March, that today our OPEC quota, the quota given to us by OPEC, was the volume, was the amount of crude oil that Nigeria sold. They are still stealing crude oil. So what are they guarding? What are they safeguarding? They are not safeguarding anything. Just because of somebody that will come and ask them what are the critical assets in the Niger Delta that the army is securing. If you are doing it in the interest of Nigeria, well, fine and good. But they are not doing anything. Oil theft is still going on. So probably these people are the people that are there aiding and they are betting it. Because if I, as I am, I want to go and stick, they will catch me. Because probably I'm not well connected, or I do not belong to the cartel. What happened to the villagers? To the extent that the army will be coming there to anger them. That is what they should do. In the end, every military is under the command of the civilian. That's what they are. That's why a civilian is called commander in chief under a democracy. Yes, you may have a career in the army, but for you to be a president in in a democratic dispensation, you must have resigned from the army. Yes, there's Dwight Eisenhower in the US. He was formerly a commander. Even Charles de Gaulle. We all know these things. But in Nigeria, so you don't have to. You don't have to overpower civilian. These people, the power resides in the people. Even the gun you are having. By the way, why should civilians? Well, let me now ask this question: why should military be deployed to illegal mission in a civilian population? You go there and put them for what? What is it that the police, the mobile, they cannot do? Everywhere military, people should go to the southeast because I'm not taking the discussion wider. This is so bad. Nigeria have not learned anything at all. Thank you, Niger Watch.
All right. Thank you very much, Garciem. Thanks for that submission. I wish the country will learn, the government, because we have the wrong people in power. That's why we are where we are today. Vine Maxwell, it's good to have you on the show, sir. Good evening to you. You have 8 minutes. Please talk to us.
Thank you so much, Niger Watch. And may God continue to bless you for the great work you've been doing all along.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening to everyone, our guests, the panelists here. CM Namoche, good evening,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
All our listeners and those in the comment section. You see, I will start by saying this. Mr. Niger Watch, you know my position. Anytime I come out here to speak about the ordeals Nigerians are going through in that country called Nigeria, I spoke about on the Constitution of Nigeria. The Constitution of Nigeria is not the people's constitution. It is a military orchestrated constitution document that was given to the civilians to rule because they claim as at that time that they were in a hurry to leave. It has never given Nigerians, that constitution has been giving Nigerians sleepless nights. The reason why you see these political elements doing whatever that they are doing in that country today is as a result of the powers that is in that constitution. Look, a country that refused to learn from past mistakes will continue to repeat same mistakes, and it will lead to a disastrous end. I served in the military for 18, 19 years. The usage of Nigerian military when it comes to IS, internal security, is a no-no. It is a no-no. And I will tell you here today, there is nobody on this earth that has the unilateral power to send soldiers or troops to any place in a country without the tacit approval of the People's Congress, that is the National Assembly. Because once you draft soldiers to go into a place, that is a state of anarchy, which means the problem that is there has, overpowered the civil police. The reason why you call them civil police is it is their responsibility to interact with the civilians, settle IS, internal security problems, not the military. The military is set up for two reasons: to defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria, especially external aggressions. That is the reason why they are trained and armed to the teeth, even more than the paramilitary, which is the police, the immigration, fire service, prison, and the rest of them. They have no right to march into a village, even if, because Nigeria thrives on impunity. That is the reason why they would draft soldiers, troops to go into a civilian, community to attack the people. What was the reason? The mistake was to send. Who sent those soldiers there? Was it under the instruction of the president and the approval of the National Assembly, where the representatives of the people are? Because those people, those civilians there, have their representatives in the National Assembly, where their support or opinion, approval sought before the soldiers were drafted into those places. It happened in Udi. They are still nursing the ordeals, the death that they went through that time. It happened in Zakibembla, most of you said here too. They never learn a lesson. Now, it has been happening even in Southeast. Markets, villages were burned down because soldiers were killed. Where are the intelligence department of the Nigerian security system? Where are the intelligence? Can you, because a soldier is killed in a place, bad as it is, a soldier is killed, then the rest of the unarmed civilians living in that place, doing their own thing, suffer to build houses and businesses, you go in there to raise their things down? Who does that? Only a madman would do that. Only a madman would do that. And I will tell you today, I was also drafted because it was the military regime that was in place at that time to march to Southern Kaduna. What did I do there? What did I do? Did I went in there, gun blazing, begin to kill people because I was asked to go there? Where is the rules of engagement when you are entering into a civilian, populated area as a military man? You are not a police. You are not a civil police officer. You see, I do not know when Nigeria will continue to do the right thing. Anything that is done outside the country in same countries, bring it to Nigeria, it will be turned upside down. Look, let me tell you, Southeast and South-South, I think it is time for every one of you begin to unite and sing in one voice, because the prophecy or the analogy of Shehu Sani, retired senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is now working on our people. You see the Nigerian government treating other people with deodorant, while the other people are being treated with, insecticide. Was it not in the north that the chief of army staff aircraft was brought down and he died? How many soldiers have been killed in the north? When the military will begin to, start talking tough, what do their leaders in the north say? Oh, you are going to kill innocent people. Do not send soldiers there. We are talking of non-kinetic. Don't use kinetic. If you use kinetic approach, it is going to, conflagrate the whole issue. And you see them, my people, south, and southeast, they have seen you finish. They've seen you finish. They knew what they were doing. They cannot do it in other places, especially in the north. But they can do it in the south, and you will not say anything because our political elites, majority of them, some of the religious leaders, some of the traditional leaders are compromised. They have no respect again when it comes to national affairs. That is why a group of military men will enter into a civilian community and kill people. The wrong thing was done ab initio. Sending the soldiers there, what did they go there to do? What did they go there to do? Where is the police? The police is the only, let me just say, closest force, civil force, paramilitary that's supposed to, address those things. If the problem overpowers them, then that is the time the CNC will be called on. And if it's going to send troops over there, the consent of the people's representative must be sought. These things are not done. But they will just send soldiers to go and massacre innocent people, burn their houses, burn their businesses, and render them useless, drive them away from their ancestral land. My people, this must stop. This must stop. If Nigeria entity wants the south, and southeast to continue to be part of that country, they should be treated equally. This biasness from the federal government of Nigeria, irrespective of who is there, must stop. Our people cannot continue to pay the price. We, our people, feed Nigeria, and they must be respected. And I believe that it is time for our people to begin to speak up, because this attack and this insult is one too many. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Van Maxwell. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.